Well, here's a place we haven't been to for some time. I'm telling you, I'm missing you guys. Well, here we've got a pupil view of my classroom, and I hope you guys are glad to be back in it, because I am, and I'm going to do one or two experiments with you just now. The first experiment we're going to try is the reaction of potassium permanganate with sodium sulfite. So this is potassium permanganate. I'm going to put a few crystals into some water, and we end up with this nice purple solution. The other solution I'm going to dissolve in hydrochloric acid. So there's hydrochloric acid, and we're going to put some sodium sulfite in with the hydrochloric acid. And we will get that to dissolve. So now the first reaction is just to coat the sodium sulfite in with the permanganate solution. And we get an immediate colour change. So that is one of the things that a chemical reaction can give. A chemical reaction can give a colour change. Okay, my second experiment is to react calcium nitrate with sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate I've already got made up as a solution. So we'll put some sodium carbonate in here. And the calcium nitrate, we shall make up the calcium nitrate. So here's calcium nitrate. And we will get that to dissolve. So this time we do the same again. We pour the one solution into the other. So here's the calcium nitrate going into the sodium carbonate, and we get something like milk formed. So what has actually happened is we have a solid formed. So that's another thing that lets you know a chemical reaction takes place, is that the state can change. For this experiment, I'm going to use my old friend George. Can't use Susan, I've given Susan away. So here's George. You've seen this many a time. It's taking a piece of magnesium ribbon and just simply reacting it. So the magnesium ribbon. So this experiment is giving off both heat and light, which are forms of energy. So you get an energy change in a chemical reaction. Calm down, George. Here's my next change. This is lead nitrate. Lead nitrate is toxic. So we put some lead nitrate into a boiling tube. And this is potassium iodide. Then we mix our two chemicals, we put the one into the other, and this time we have two changes. We have a colour change and we have a solid form, so we have a state change. Right, this experiment I have set up a gas syringe and a round bottom flask, and then we can connect them with a tube. And in this experiment we're going to use a state change to follow the course of the reaction. In the state changes there's going to be a gas given off and driven into that gas syringe. So I'm going to come round the bench to do that. So we add 50 millilitres of hydrochloric acid to the round bottom flask. And then this is just a piece of magnesium that we're going to drop in. So I'll get ready to catch as much gas as I can. So drop in the magnesium ribbon, stopper. And you can see the bubbles of gas that are forming there. You can see the plunger of the syringe is being driven out. So the chemistry we're seeing here is the reaction of magnesium plus hydrochloric acid, and we can write out an equation for this. So we'll try and write an equation. So magnesium and I'm trying to write really tidy here, reacts with hydrochloric acid, so we use a plus symbol to show that. And then we use an arrow to show that it gives. So it gives, and it gives a salt, magnesium chloride, which you'll understand later. And what's important to us is it produces hydrogen gas. Or this can be written as a symbol equation, which is much easier and much quicker. So it's a symbol equation. Magnesium is Mg, hydrochloric acid is HCl, or arrow. Magnesium chloride is MgCl2, and hydrogen is H2. But the important thing is that it's giving off hydrogen gas, and that is what we have been measuring in this experiment here.